Nikita Ward, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome. We've so much I want to talk about today. You're a mother, you're a dance teacher, you've been in the fitness industry on and off for a long time. You have recently started your dance classes, adult dance classes, heels dance classes.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I've danced like my whole life for as long as I can remember. I was dancing and I just stopped feeling like I had like that sexy style years ago when we were younger. Obviously like at that age, but when you get into your teen years, I feel like dance can get quite like boring because it's not transitioning into more of a woman's style.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I fell out of love with dancing when I got out to the age of 16 and started going out with all that, and it was just like something I just stopped doing.
Yeah.
And then like I had Barley, hadn't danced in years, and she wanted to join dancing.
Okay.
So it brought her into stage school that I've been in like my whole life.
Yeah.
And then it's like when I was bringing her back, I was like, oh, she's that was a lot of years going, and she's loving coming out, making little friends, and she's doing her little routines in the house. And I was just like, I actually remember her just being so young and like loving doing that, and like the little feeling like middle class, being like, oh my god, I felt so good about it. And then I was like, I'm gonna look into like doing dance classes just for myself to go to them. So I found like two styles, and I was like, can I try heels dance classes and I'm gonna try contemporary. And they were like contemporary and lyrical was kind of the style I always loved. So I went and started doing both of those, and I was like, oh god, amazing, like I literally love it. So I spent a couple of months doing them, and then I just like stayed in Kerry's house, my best friend, one night, and I was just like, so Kerry, I just had like an epiphany. And she was like, what? And I was like, I just want to teach dance classes. And she was like, you're nuts. And I was like, oh no. And she was like, no, but do it. And I was like, yeah. This was, I think, around like October of last year. And I was like, yeah, I think I will. I was like, I think I'll keep training up, and like in January I'll just start it. And she's like, no, do it tomorrow. And I was like, I can't just do it tomorrow. There's no way. And she said, no, like I think you'll be deadly. Just go and do it now. And I was like, right, let's just give myself like, I think it was the end of October. I was like, give myself like 2 weeks just to gear up, and then we'll just go on.
Yeah.
And we'll just put it up. I'm just going to teach dance class. Just went and done it, and it's just been flying ever since. Like every week it's getting busier and busier, and it's just like taken off. I have 2 a week now, and it's just like the best thing I ever did. That's
amazing. So from the time you said that to Kerry and then put on your first dance class, what was the time step?
Like second weekend in November. So what does that give us? Yeah, like 6 and 10. Wow, I think we're on like a 12th class now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing,
isn't it? Just flying. Just got a bit of time off at Christmas and stuff. So like, we'd be on about our 12th. I talked into class now. It's just like out the door. It's great.
And it's like what you said there, it reminded me of saying like Marley coming out for dance classes and being so chuffed with herself and making friends. And like, why does that have to stop as an adult?
Yeah.
You don't even think to do that. I mean, I would love to have a hobby. I have no hobbies outside of work, but even when I didn't have my own business, I still didn't have hobbies. Because I just, no, it's not a normalised thing. Yeah. But it's like, I have an uncle who's like in his 50s, still plays football.
Yeah.
Like still and loves it so much. Like
I think boys are so much better.
Yeah.
I think boys are still so passionate about football or like whatever it is like they're into, and they'll carry that to their whole lives, and like they won't drop in for shit. Like even with like my friends and all, like, no, I've got football on Tuesday and Thursday.
They plan their life around it.
Yeah, girls just like are like, no, I'll drop everything and look after everybody else, and I'll just like not do anything for myself. That's what we do, it's automatically. So like when you get into your adult years as a girl, I feel like we all just forget that we actually have to have fun and just go and do something every once in a while. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So, and even getting into dancing now, I feel like this year or something, like last year, I still feel like when I was going to dance classes, it was like people thought I was so strange. Like even posting on social media, people are like I know I heard it back from people so many times. Like, who does she think she is? Like going and doing that.
Well, I remember seeing the first video you put up of you dancing. And I'd be a real confident person anyways, I'd be like you. And I remember seeing that and going, go girl, like, oh my god, that's out there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But did you get a bit of hate for going?
Oh my god, the stories I heard back about myself.
No!
Like, it was chaos. When I first started, it was chaos. I remember my mom asking me and all, like, someone told me you're dancing for stripper, like, you're dancing like stripper, you're doing it for money and all, like, honestly. while she was like, onto my sister's mom, and like, where is it she's doing these classes? Like, where is it she's going? Is it a club or something? No, I'm just going up to a dance class up the road. Like, it's for an hour on a Friday. It was chaos, like chaos. The amount of stuff I heard about myself and like stuff that was just being said back to like Marnie's dad and like that side of the family, and it just was like I was literally just going to do a dance class for an hour a week, and it was like, she's this big bad person, and it was mad. But I feel like this year dance is so normalised. I feel like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
There's such a bigger community. I feel like since January, I don't know if it's because it's what I'm into now, that's like it's what I'm seeing is different or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so many more people going and trying it. Like girls are definitely more into like, I'm gonna go and just push myself and go and give it a go, and they're loving it. I just feel like this year it's like such a big thing, such a bigger community around dance compared to like what I would have experienced last year.
Yeah. Like there's yourself, and then there's another dance class that I follow, and these are the only two I know of in Ireland. Because before that, like you would have heard of Heels dance classes, but it would have been like in America, like you know, you see like a real like America.
That's what I'm like,
yeah,
I just like I'd love to get into dance like that.
Well, I'm like so proud of like, I don't know any of the girls in your class, but when I look at the videos, I'm like, oh, I love that for Irish girls.
Yes.
I love it so much.
Yeah. It's like our culture to like suppress your femininity.
Yeah.
It's like, don't show yourself off. Like it's seen as bad if you celebrate your body or like celebrate who you are. Just be a woman. Like it's so frowned upon. So I feel like by going to this class and just like letting loose, expressing yourself, and like everyone else in the class is so supportive, and it's so rare to get that like a group of girls that aren't nobody in my room and like bitches with each other. There's nothing bad said. Everyone's like so delighted for each other. And it's just so nice to see. It's such a rare in our generation. It's so rare to get that like from girls.
And I think as well, like when a woman is feeling sexy, like feeling confident, like that's when I'm at my best.
Yeah.
Feeling confident is one thing, but then when you put confidence and like feeling sexy together, oh my god.
Like a boss,
literally. Yeah. Exactly.
And as well, like for you probably feel it like I used to because I used to do online coaching, and I was flat doing that like all day, every day, grinding away, and I'm sure you were the same. Like it was just like hard work all the time. You just felt so masculine. I used to just feel like, because I'm a single parent, like I look after Mary, I look after the house, I look after the girls, I'm working for myself, I'm doing all that. I was just felt like I was just in such a male role, and I felt so masculine that I was just like, I just want to feel like a girl. Like, I just want to feel a bit free, and I just like feel like I don't feel just relaxed or something. Like you just can't like just be in your natural state. You're always like grafting and always like going for the next best thing. It was not.
Oh my god, you're speaking to me right now. Yeah. That's literally where I am. Yeah. So like right in the middle of it, and I do think to a certain extent that's where I need to be right now for my business. But personally, does that do good for me? Probably not in the long run. Like like I can't remember the last time I felt relaxed or turned off, and I'm trying to watch like silly movies on my day off, and meditation, and even like I do like manifestations every morning, and I'm writing these things down, but I'm thinking of something else while I'm writing. I'm like, well, that's kind of the whole point, is that you're concentrated on that.
Yeah. So I feel like classes are just that relief. That was what it was like for me when I started doing it. It was like, I remember like Barry would go off to our dad's every second weekend, and on a Friday night I used to just go every second weekend when she was gone, and I'd go up and do my little class, and like I feel like that just suppress everything. Like I would just feel lighter. I'd come out of the class and be like, oh, there's like such a relief that I needed it. Now I'm like, I can chill. Like I've gotten anything out of my system that I needed to. I just feel like a girl again, and everything's not as hard as it seems. Like it just really like loosens you up. It's such a good feeling. Like
I love that. And as well, I think especially a lot of people who are women who want to keep in shape, dancing. Oh my god. Do you ever see someone when they go like on Strictly Come Dancing and the before and after? They're half their size and they haven't even noticed it. Do you know, it's such an amazing form of exercise. And especially if you're going into the gym and you find the gym boring and you don't like it, you're probably not going to put as much in. No. Do you know what I mean? You'd probably be better off doing a dance class or something like that you really, really enjoy.
Yeah, since I've started, I'm just like, I went from like, I loved the gym, like it was my whole entire life, like I loved it. I would literally get there 4 or 5 times a week, no problem. It was just like natural to me. I'd do it and I loved it. And then I started dancing and I just felt like the weight training and stuff like that was like, it was stopping the ability to move in dancing, like be more flowy and stuff like that. I'd be sore and I just wasn't at my best in classes. So since I've started teaching, I've definitely taken a massive step back from the gym. I now find it like so boring. In the gym, when I go, I'm like, I'm here because I just have to drive myself to go once or twice a week, but I find it so boring. So I kind of just I go to other people's dance classes as well. Like, so I go to like 3 classes. 2 classes a week and then I teach 2 myself. So I go to like 4. And I just think it's great. It's just, I've never felt like I've done such a workout before in my life. Like my whole body, like head to toe on weekends is giant and like sore, and it's just a good feeling. And I feel like I've just been able to not be so strict on like tracking calories and all of that stuff. Like I feel like it's just been such a big turnaround for me this year. And I've like let go of the way I used to be. And it's just like a whole new version of my life.
Probably a whole new version that you weren't expecting to come with it. Which can sometimes be even nicer than, you know, knuckling down and saying, right, I'm really going to improve myself, but for it to just happen naturally. Do you know, it's obviously been such an amazing thing.
I feel like I'm so at ease. I feel like before, when I was doing my coaching and everything, I like loved it, but I was just constantly like, what's next? And I just feel like with dance, I'm really accepting of like where I am, and I know I can keep going to class, I'm going to train, I'm going to get better, but I feel like it's a place where I'm just not in competition with other people, and like, my body is just not what's the main thing. It's in online coaching, like you have to keep yourself in shape, and it's really competitive. Like I find with online coaching, like you don't see many coaches helping each other out or like talking nice to each other or supporting each other. Like, go there and do great, you don't see it. Whereas in dance classes, like from going to them, like loads of girls come to mine and like we all kind of go to each other's classes that are put on, and it's just a different community, and it's just real supportive. Like it's a lovely community to be involved in. That like it's so different to coaching and gym, and like it's nice.
I love that. And what has exercise done for you throughout your life? It's something I've relied on so much through like bad times, hard times. You've obviously had a baby really young. What was the trajectory in you getting involved in the fitness industry? Was there a reason, or was it something you fell into?
I remember going to do my course. I've done like a 12-week course at a personal trainer years and years and years ago. And I'd never trained before this, like never gone to the gym. And I was like, oh my god, why am I so sore? And why can I just not understand these macros? Like, what is counting calories? And like, what is carb? Like, how do you do? I've done 12 weeks of it, and I loved it by the end, but I remember just being so confused through and just being like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, what is like protein powder? And I'm like, what is? So I was like, I'm actually just I was working at the time in Harvey Norman, I was working there, and I like that's a kind of hobby. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just actually gonna like go and do a little course in fitness and see how I got on. So I signed up just originally for like a fitness instruction course, and said like, you know, you'll learn with nutrition, all that will be included. So I was like, I'm just gonna go for myself, so I don't have to keep. In my mind, it was like, I'm not gonna have to keep paying for personal training. It's so expensive. I'm not gonna have to keep paying for personal training. If I go and just learn the basics, like how to make a little plan for myself, how to eat properly, like happy out, that'll just be something I can add to my life. And then when I went to sign up for the course, they were like, why don't you do the personal training? Well, it's not that much more expensive to add on. So I was like, I'll add it on. So I went to the course and I loved it. And like from the minute I went to it, I just took to it so well. And then like that through anything in my life, I feel like I went back to the gym all the time. I had Marley, and I just thought like what I had Marley, I just had to get my body back to the way it was before, so I just can't go back to like the old personal training and that wasn't fitness related at all. Like I just felt like when I had her, I was like, oh, it's not for a mother. Like it's a really hard place to be in, like the gym and looking at yourself in mirrors and stuff when you're not in shape anymore. So I thought I was done with it, and then I just went back to it one day. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start online coaching and just go back to it. So I done that, and as I was starting online coaching, I was like pushing myself back into training, and I was going through like obviously my breakup at the time, and I was going through like moving out of my house and trying to find like where to live, and I just made sure like through all of that I got to the gym for like an hour in the evening to get ready down to bed. My mum would keep an eye on me, go and train, and I felt like so much better about myself, and it just like snowballed. And obviously through me pushing myself to go, I was attracting like mothers to come to me for online coaching, and I just like boomed when I done the online coaching. That just boomed as well, and it was doing so well. And I just feel like it's because I adapted a different approach to it. So it was like, I don't need to be like mentally lean, I don't need to be like heavy in the gym for 10 hours a day. I'm just doing it in around Marnie's routine now, and I'm doing it like from a mother's perspective, and you can still do well in that sense. And I just feel like loads of people, like that's the majority of the public is mothers and stuff like that. So it just all plays like hand in hand and went like really well. And most of my clientele, if not all, were mothers in the same position, like just trying to get themselves at this little rut after you have kids of being like, I feel so crap, I look so different, can't accept this new body, and then just learning to like love it again and get to the gym and push through it all. Like.
And I think as well, you hear it because I follow a lot of like fitness trainers and online coaches, and I think a big problem with mothers is they're going into the gym after they have a baby, and their mind when they're in the gym is totally on their kids. So they're not going to be training right. They're like, a lot of mothers, they say like, oh, I've never lifted weights before. I was going in like just going to do the treadmill for like 40 minutes. And Jeremy, we've all done it at some point. And it's like, you've just had a baby. You want to spend, like, don't be taking an hour away of your day from your kids if it's not worthwhile, you know, as well. Like, you'd be probably better off just going for a walk instead of, you know, like, so I always think I love seeing that when, like, especially a mother who is so limited with their time, who they start seeing those results, because, like, it's frustrating enough to, like, not see results. But then taking away time from like from your kids.
It's like guilt, it's mom guilt, it never goes away. Even that going to the gym. I feel like you never switch off from your kids, like never. But you have to learn that they're grand. They're grand for an hour. Like, I have to just do this for me. And like I always say to anyone that's like, oh my god, how do you find the time to do it? I'm like, listen, if I don't get to the gym or like go to a class, a dance class, go and do whatever I need to do for like an hour a day, or like some sort of form of self-care, like physically for myself, I'm not going to be the best version of myself for Mary. Because you don't, if you're not on top of yourself, I find, like, if you look at years ago, like my mum, I just know she just literally was at home with the kids all day, every day. And that was it. And she never prioritised going and looking after herself, and you can just see how it affects someone's mood. Like, she's the best in the world, but like she definitely would have had days where she was just chaos. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like she couldn't cope. It was so overstimulating having kids, and she'd no little release. And I think like that's so important. It's something that I like try and drill. I used to try and drill to clients' heads, girls that come to me classes now. And like, make sure you come and get your little hour, even if it's just once every couple of days. It gets you like your little release. So then you're not overstimulated by the kids, and you just like your mood is better for them. You're for everyone around you, really, like you're just in a better form and you feel better about yourself. So you're just going to be a nicer person to be around.
Absolutely. And that was literally my next question was, what age were you when you had Marley?
Oh, I'm actually 5 this year, so what am I, 27? 20. I was 20, I remember, being in labour on my birthday, so she was 22.
22. Wow.
I think I was, 22.
Around that. So like that, like what you touched on there, I think it's such a stereotypical thing, probably for the likes of like our mothers and anyone before that, to just, once the kids are okay, I'm grand. And that is so, I don't have kids, but that to me, I just know is not the type of mother I ever will or want to be. I think it's easy to say that when you don't have kids, because you don't know what that responsibility when it comes is like. But like I never, for the first time I saw my mum get her nails done was like 2 years ago.
No, my mum's literally started getting her nails done there recently, and I'm like, what is going on in my view? Like, once in a blue moon she would have gotten up if we like booked her in something, like just 5 of us. And like she literally did, like she would never spend a little bit of time by herself.
But that's the thing. And even like my mom at times, probably more times than not, would have had the money to get them done, but she would have rather spend that on us.
Yeah.
Do you know, or like bring us out for the day. And I think like that is such a selfless thing, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you know, such a lovely quality. And but ultimately, when I if I heard someone now be like, you know, it's all about the kids, I don't matter. I'd kind of, I don't know how it's going to work out for you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It's so hard to like find the fine line, because I still like that. I've money there to go and do stuff for myself, but I'm so bad for it, and I have to like consciously talk to myself and be like, no, like do something for yourself. I'll like, I was away in Manchester the weekends, and I'm in shops and I'm seeing stuff for myself, but I'm thinking like, for the price of like a pair of honest to me, I can get married shirt. Yeah. And I'm like, no, leave them there and I'll go in and get more stuff. I can't buy them for myself, and I'm literally just forward lots of stuff. And it's do it all the time. So it's like you have to really like consciously talk to yourself and be like, listen, a little bit from me every now and then is not doing anyone any bad.
Yeah.
And like that, I was only saying to my sister last night, like my mum and I went on their first holiday last year. Like they're together since I'm a baby. They're together like 28 years this year. And they went on their first holiday last year.
There was easily like a decade where like my mum and dad did not go on a date.
Yeah.
Like,
no, like I swear I don't remember my mum and dad going on dates or anything.
When I was a kid, like I thought rich people get their nails done. Like I thought like that, you know, like that was just like no.
Like all that stuff was getting colour in your hair, like I just don't, like it was just so weird.
It was
like,
so weird.
They just do nothing for themselves. It's so sad when we look back at it. Yeah. Like even now, like I remember my sister a couple of weeks ago brought me back to the cinema. She was like a little child sitting there in the cinema with her nachos and popcorn, and she's like loving life. But just little things like that. They just didn't do it years ago. And I feel like when you have a child, then it's so, like, I think the first 2 years you have them, you are so in that mode that you can see outside of it. So I think for the first 2 years of having Mary, I was like that. I would have been like, I look at like the way I dressed and like presented myself and all, and I did not make any conscious effort to look after myself like at all. Whereas now, like in the mornings, I set me around 20 minutes early. I'm like, I'll get up, get wash and dress, I feel me house feeling good, and I can start my day that way. And I make a conscious effort throughout my whole week to put in little times for myself to do things. Yeah, I'm really strict in our routine. I'm like, bedtime is your time and it's my time to switch off. Yeah. So, things like that. I just you have to make sure you're looking after yourself. It's just gonna spiral into how you speak to the kids and how your mood is around the kids. Like, so I just think it's so important. Yeah. Like the only way I can I'm not comparing, I've never compared owning a business to having a kid, but I think there are some similarities in some way. Yeah. But like even like I would naturally, I love doing my hair, love doing my makeup, I love like dressing nice. I would love like on my day off just do myself up and go to town for a ramble. Yeah. Oh my god, those days are so gone. Yeah, not even buy anything, just go in and feel good. And it's like I now sometimes I'm getting a bit better at it, but definitely at the start I was like, well, I have a business. Who am I to like do myself up on my day off? Like, do you know what I mean? You feel obliged to struggle, almost. Yeah. But it's like, why do we not feel obliged to like keep up that, like, you know, like you said, you like to look nice and stuff, and always like that. I've always done like makeup every day, and like if you find something else that's more purposeful to do other than spending like 2 hours on your makeup every day, obviously, like that's a good thing. But when you're going out looking like a little scruff, and like a few times I've looked at myself in the mirror on my day off, or I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Jump scare. Yeah. Like, yeah, you really have to upkeep it yourself. And I think mentally it's such a good thing for you. Yeah. Like, when I look back at the times where I was in the depths of it, like when I first moved into the apartment that I'm in now, and like I just remember looking back and thinking like the way I left the house was like not okay. And now I'm like, I feel so much better and like more confident and just happier in myself when I leave my house as my best self. And it's not even about it. Like, oh, do you ever? I feel like it's just such a thing around makeup. Like, oh, like someone said to me this morning, oh, Monday morning before 9 a.m. you've got makeup on, fair play to you. Like, it's just, it's just a thing that's staying around it. Like, it's, I don't know what it is. Like, if you look after yourselves, like, oh, it's well for now. It is so, it is well supposed to do that. And I think it's so important. You can, the difference, I would say, in how I go out and how I feel when I'm thrown together in a mess. I'm like, I don't see anybody. And if you see me today, didn't see you, close your eyes. Whereas when I'm pulled together, I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm stuck and talk to people. Like, if you just change the whole day, looking after yourself is absolutely, that makes such a difference.
Yeah. Like, I got in a habit in here last year of not wearing makeup to work. And I wouldn't typically be like one of those people that's like, oh my God, don't look at me if I don't have makeup on. But I definitely obviously know I look and feel better with it. And that was one of my things when in 2024, I was like, no, we need to get back on the glam train. I need to start wearing makeup every day. And I've literally worn makeup in here every day. And my work is better. My mood is better. When people walk in the door, I'm like proud to have been and see me, and I'm like, yes, look at me. No, do you know that type of thing. And it's made such a difference. Yeah, do you know?
I always say that, like, do not leave your house unready. It's the best thing you do for yourself. Yeah. Do not leave the house unready.
Yeah,
like, leave the house ready to, like, I always say, like, leave the house ready to meet your future husband, to leave the house ready to go into a job interview, leave your house ready, like, and prepared for, like, anything that life is going to throw at you. Yeah. My mum used to say that to us when we were younger. Oh, she always had a thing about your hair. Like, we all have long hair, like long thick hair, and she was always like, your hair is your parents. Like, always have your hair clean and washed, and always leave your hair. Like, leave the house with your hair done, never throw it up, or like just be like, it's grand. Always look after your hair. Your hair is your whole appearance. I feel like I carried that through. I had Marley lost it, and now I'm like, no, she's actually right in saying that. Like, when you leave your house and your hair's not greased back to your hair, you actually made an effort. Your whole day is just so much better.
It is. Easier. It is. But we've all had that moment where you're out and about and you don't look your best, and you see someone who, was in your life before, and you're like, why today? But I don't know if you had, but I've had that moment where I look really good as well. Yeah. And see them, and it's like, oh, I love this.
No, I swear, see that moment when you feel when you look like absolute shit. That is the worst. I remember that happened to me before. I've been seeing someone and it didn't go well, and like it ended shit on their end, and I was raging about it. Yeah. And then I remember I worked like in school in the mornings as an SMA, it was part time, right? And like when I go in there, the school is freezing cold, so we lay out up, like there's no heat, it's really cold. So I remember going with 3 tracksuits on this day. And this one was a green one from Chanel. I call it like the painted tracksuit at school. Yeah. And like when I went to school and I know I was going painting that day, and the kids are going to have the handprints all over me, I wore this green tracksuit. I had that, I think I had a green, like khaki green coat over it. Hair was in a ponytail. It was one of these days I did not leave the house already. I just ran out and I crossed in front of their car on the road. And I was like trying to make me book. So I like ran across the road, and I remember the feeling in my whole body. I was just like, oh my God, I just let myself down. Today. I could have just spent 5 minutes sorting my life out a little bit. Yeah. And I was cringing for the day, voicing out the girl straight away. And I'm like, oh my God, you will never guess who me to me. I was like, I today in my green tracksuit. It was so bad. It's so stupid.
But it's so funny and that's, I live by, like, dress like you're gonna see your worst enemy every day. Yeah. And even like with like friends over the years, like they'd be like, the group chat, they're like, oh, like, what's the dress code? Like, everyone would know, like, I'm not, Rachel's not going to abide by the dress code. I don't care what the dress code is. It's heels and a dress.
Always.
I don't do, like, casual, like, going out flats and stuff.
It's just very small, though. Do you feel like
that? I feel like tall girls can wear, if you put a tall girl beside me and we were both wearing the same dress in a flats, she would look dressy.
Yeah, absolutely. I wear flats. I look like I'm going to do Sunday shopping.
Like, literally, I'm the same.
So I'm the same. We're going anywhere. We're going for food. We're going anywhere. I have heels on.
Heels every time.
Don't care what anybody else is wearing.
And like, especially if we're going out for a family meal, and I'll come downstairs and my dad's like, where do you think you're going? I'm like, it's your fault that I'm this height. So, well, oh no, absolutely.
I remember I go to like a family meal in movies, and and like everyone's like, you know, oh yeah, see us out there, and I rock up in a skirt and like tie-high boots and like just up to nice me and my kid hanging off me head on. Mom vibes, and everyone's like, wow, I just agree with these things right there. And everyone's chilling out in their casuals and everything. I'm like, I don't care. I do this for me. It's not about everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I have to go to take all the time.
But you're then, it is great. Yeah. But then you're a nicer like person to be at dinner with. Like we were actually out for my brother's 21st yesterday, and we just went somewhere casual, and I like wasn't like done up to the nines, and I was more like eager to get home. Yeah. But if I was like actually like I knew it was going to be a casual kind of only going out for an hour type of thing, but then I was like, if I was dressed up, I probably would have like sat there, ordered another 7-Up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
You're just ready. The mic can take it anywhere. You're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel so respected when I'm like that. I hate going out just casual. It doesn't mean I live. I like, I literally, if I'm going anywhere, like, it's just a trounce up on us. I'm going somewhere where just I'm really confused. I'm in the police. Like,
do you purposely preach that on your socials that it's really important to look after yourself? Yeah. Is that because I find you know, it's something you talk about a lot, and I'm like, is that purpose? Is that on purpose? Is that something you want to preach to your audience?
I've tried to put up a reel before of like just spend a day with me, and in one part I'm going to walk the dog, and I'm like dressed to go walk the dog, and I'm like a 2-piece matching set, and like my turn is a nice jacket, sunglasses on, and everything. I'm going to walk the dog, and I remember getting so many replies from people being like, oh my god, you are hilarious, like to actually get dressed to go walk a dog. And I'm like, I think it's so important for me, just for my mental health, like, and how I feel, and how I see myself. Like, if I leave my house ready to go, I'm so confident I can talk to anybody, like I can take on anything. If I leave my house like not ready, I just feel crappy, like, so it's just not worth it. It's normal.
Yeah.
So I always say that, like, and as a man, like, setting the alarm 30 minutes before to get yourself. I feel like when you get yourself up before the kids, you've that time to actually wash your face, do your skincare, actually not just wash your throat, but moisturiser, do whatever skincare you love for your skin, actually have your hair done. You don't have to wear makeup, do whatever makes you feel like you're ready, you're fresh. And then the kids wake up, you're already setting the tone for the day, you're already in a better mood. Yeah. You wake the kids wake you up, you're like straight up and into mom mode. And you're like, right, okay, the kids, that's all it's going to be for the rest of the day. Yeah. Spend that 40 minutes with yourself in the morning, just get yourself ready. It makes a massive difference to like how the rest of your day is going to be. I'm so passionate about that. Those little 40 minutes in the morning, even just a cup of tea on your own, don't have to do anything to yourself. Just to set yourself up for the day and get yourself ahead of it before the kids are a tornado. Yeah.
My favourite thing you've ever said on your social media, and it's in a really nice post, you were saying that you're talking about the way you talk about yourself in front of Marley because she's told she looks like you all the time. Yeah. And if you're looking in the mirror in your head and you go, oh man, you look state today. Yeah. No. And I was like, that is so genius. Yeah. Because I was like, and it's so correct.
Yeah. I'm so self-aware since I've had Marley. Like, I feel like before that I would have been very critical of myself, and it doesn't matter. I say this to people all the time, people think that happiness is a certain shape or size and how you look, and it's not. It's how you feel about yourself and how you talk to yourself. Like a huge part in your confidence. And I think since having Marley, it's made me like so self-aware around things like that. And even if like I was in such a rut there like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I haven't gone to the gym, I haven't eaten great, I feel awful, but I'll never let one out. Like, she'll never know I'm still up getting myself ready in the morning. I never stand in the mirror and look at myself, or I never let her see me like try on clothes that I'm like, oh, I don't know if this look nice to me, because then I put it on and I gotta walk off my hook and I'm like, that is crap on me, and I'm looking at myself and analysing every shape of myself. I never do anything like that from towards. I feel like I grew up, and like again back to like our mom's generations, I feel like they were so critical of themselves and like how they spoke of themselves, like, oh, Satan here today, or like, oh, it's not the lashing the weight on, and it's like a constant thing. You hear it's like a tune to your whole life growing up, and I feel like when I became a mother, I was just like, I just don't want to carry that in through her. Like,
yeah.
And it's working. I see it. I'm like, she's 5, and I'm not messing. This kid is the most confident kid.
Oh my god! Well, that's what I was going to say. She is a scream. Like she's just. I was watching a little video of her, like doing her like princess songs, and I was like,
she's out there. Like I swear, I think we're all biased about our kids, but like Mary, I say to everyone, I'm like, I'll stand by this word. She's gone places. Like she's so special. Like I know our kids are all special to us, but like I just see it, and she's such a special kid. Like she's gonna have such a huge purpose behind her life. And I just think like my little things that I do, she learns from me. So it's so important to be self-aware of the little things you do. Like I see people meal prepping on a Sunday, meal prepping all the food and putting it in the fridge and eating out lunchbox for the week. And I think like I do not want to oversee that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll meal prep to points of where like I'll meal prep like me for the weekends in the fridge, right? Yeah. To meals and that sort of thing. But I don't want her to see me. It's alright to make your lunch and take it to work with you. I don't want her to, I'm making you a meal and I'm just going to sit over here with this lunchbox. Yeah. Like, I just think she's going to grow up thinking that's normal. And it's not.
And it's not normal. I've been doing this since I was 14.
Honestly.
And I'm religious about it.
I look back and think, like, when did I not diet? Like, when did I not think I need to diet? Like,
I've been on a diet since I was 14.
Honestly, it's never ending. It's never ending until you make it end. Like, it's not.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Right now, I'm not in a bad place. I'm actually in the best place I've ever been. With my food or my relationship with myself, which is amazing. But, yeah, literally.
How many years did it take to get there? Like, you feel
15.
like it's never ending.
No.
Never ending.
And I was, like, sometimes I would, like, think to myself, Jesus, if I actually did achieve my dream body, what that looks like in my head, what would I do?
No, I know.
Because
it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
You know,
so it's so
you're so correct with that. I agree with that so much. Yeah, I know. When you think of a 5-year-old, would you let your 5-year-old be eating a meal that was made 5 nights ago? Put in the freezer?
Yeah, why can't you?
No, you know.
Even if you are a working mother, I was like, that's fine to prep food and have it, but put it on a plate. I just think it's such a big thing. And like, whatever about screen time, Marley has iPads. Like, and I'll openly say she's not allowed to watch that all the time. Like, it's a over my house that she's allowed.
She has specific time and stuff.
Yeah, like I think it's so normal for her to be bored to learn how to play with toys and everything. But I will always make sure at dinner when we sit together and speak. Like I'm not having her sitting on her iPad watching her dinner, and it's everyone's personal preference and no issues. I know there's kids out there that won't sit and eat a dinner in front until they have an iPad from, so that's fine. You have to do whatever works for your kids. But I just think for me, like sitting at a table with my family is something that we always done in my life, and we have such a good relationship, me and my brothers and sisters, and we all sit and talk openly to each other and that sort of thing. And I feel like little habits that you do throughout your life is what they take on, and kids are sponges. Like I look at things that she does now and I'm like, I didn't even teach her that, but she sees me like she gets up now and what she done this morning without me even prompting her. I'll have her uniform ready to go, she just got up before she even came into me, made her bed, came out of the room carrying her uniform, and then put it into the bathroom, stood in the bathroom, washed her face, her hands, her teeth, put her uniform on, came out and was like, I'm ready for breakfast. Like, she'll just do it, and she's nearly 5. Like, she's only gone 5 in August, so she's still a baby. But she just, I've never taught her to do that. She just sees me doing it. So I'm like, little habits like that are great, but also it's so important to be self-aware of the bad habits that you do, because she's watching them as well. So I think that's why I'm so heavy on the how I eat and how it happens. Yeah. That's a hard one. I think it's a bit of both. So I think I always encourage her to be independent. Like I always encourage her. I think, and it's probably not the best way of thinking, but I just always think like, what if something happened to me? Yeah. And how I parent her, she has to go and be parented by somebody else, and she's not used to their style. At least she can do for herself what needs to be done. Yeah. So I just always think of that. That's probably not great to be thinking of the worst case scenario, but I just think like, if I can teach her the little things that make her life easier, she's prepared for more, like. And then in terms of, obviously I'm a single parent, so she goes to her dad's house and she's a little girl. No man is going to be able to do a little girl's hair or anything like that. I'm not going to think to do her skincare and that sort of thing. Like that, he's great at looking after her and he looks after her well, but when she goes there, like she knows like how to put a hairband in her hair and she knows how to clip her hair out her face and that sort of thing, because like he definitely doesn't have to do it. Yeah. So I feel like I kind of put it on her as well. Like I teach her how to do little bits in her hair and stuff like that, and just how to keep up with her hygiene. And I make it so important, like you have to brush your teeth and that sort of thing. Because men will just forget. So I know when she's gone, they're just, it's natural to walk to up in the mornings and do those things without having to be forced into doing. There's not killings for everybody involved. Like,
yeah, because that is the worst when like your man goes away for a couple of days and you're going out looking like something from Annie.
Honestly, no, I think we've all been there.
No, we
have.
have.
Someone please push me hair from me because it's mad. Yeah.
I remember a few times, like, we'd get, like, my auntie who lives up in Swords to, like, come down to, like, do our hairs when we're away, when my mum's away. Like,
yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I'm just laughing in the States. Even pictures that we have years ago of, like, we have family in Limerick, so dad will take us down there, and oh my god, it's like the pictures that we look back now and, like, we were carrying someone around there. My mum would look at them like, I'm gonna kill him to stay with my kids. Like, so yeah, I just think teaching her little things like that is no harm in it, and she's just able to, like, she can carry that on more. The older she gets, she'll always know how to be a little bit independent.
Absolutely.
And it makes the bond so much easier. People think like, oh my god, I'm sure that takes 4 ages to do it. I'm like, no, do you know what takes longer? It's only tell her she's wearing these shoes and she doesn't want to wear them. And she wants to wear different shoes. So now she's upset because I'm screaming at her saying, get them shoes in your feet now. I have to get to work, you need to get to school. And it's like, she's upset, I'm screaming, I'm riled up, the house is chaos. And then she's like forced to put something on, she doesn't want to, and she's going to go to school and let me tell everybody, like, I didn't want to wear these shoes today. That's more time consuming than it is just letting her be. Just letting her do her own little thing.
Yeah. No, it's so important, and that's something that has always been so important to me. I think it came from, like, work, and so I started working when I was, like, 14, and I saw, like, I started developing skills, and like, just things that were important to me, like learning the value of money, more important, like, just having on a Saturday, having to get up, at the same time I was getting up for school the other days to get myself to the hairdressers and go to work. Whereas, you know, everyone else was like playing video games for the day, and then you go out with your friends and all that type of stuff. And I think it is so, so important to be self-sufficient by yourself. Like, it's one thing when I hear, oh God, I couldn't live without her, like, I couldn't live without that person. And it's like, well, you might have to someday. So what are you going to do then, you know? Like, it's really, it sounds a bit harsh, and I know we're just talking about, like, little kids, and now this is a bit more serious, but one thing for me is, like, if everyone else went, could I do everything myself? You know? And I think that's something, when I have kids, I want them to be able to do, obviously without explaining it to them in that harsh way. But just preparing them for it. Like, I remember when I was growing up, like, I had friends who, like, couldn't ring the Chinese in order to make an order themselves. You know, they'd be like, oh man, will you, I'm just going to be up in their room, I'm just going to ring my mum to do this. And I'm like, what?
Even, like, I don't know about you, but, like, when we were younger, like, even the likes of, like, oh, my mum, like, fill me baths for me and stuff like that. Like, no, she'd tell me to go and get baths, but I have to fill in the bath ready myself, like, no problem. Or, like, just some bad little things, like, oh yeah, my mum used to, like, you know, tuck me into bed at the age of 16 still, and I'm like, no, mine's with my mum, like, get that now, like, do you know what I mean? She'd make us be independent, and I'm so grateful for it. I look back and I think, like, I thought she was mad years ago. Like, she was so like, no, do that yourself and blah blah. But now, like, I live alone, and people say to me, like, how do you, when Marnie's gone, are you not, like, up the walls? And I'm like, no, I love it. Like, I love it. I'm so happy in my own space. It's scary, and like, get me to think, like, I would have to have maybe one day somebody else in this space. Like, it really doesn't sit well with me. Like, it scares me. I'm, like, so happy. And most at ease when I'm alone. Like, I'm so used to being so independent.
Do you know, I literally had an epiphany there, like, the other, like, week. I was like, it was my day off, and I was in bed, and I had a few snacks, and I was watching a movie, and I was like, I am at my best when I'm alone. And I was like, no one's ever going to see me at my best because it's when I'm alone. Like,
it's so nice to feel like that, though, because I feel like we're told that we need somebody, and, you know, we need a man and all this, and it's great to have one, but, like, it's so nice to just love your own peace.
It's
your
so
own
important.
Who we are. They can just be like, I'm so accepted of myself that I can just sit here and be like, nothing fancies me. It's lovely.
And I think as well, like, when a person really struggles to be by themselves, I do feel so bad, because I'm like, you are missing out on so much. Like, Oh,
I love going for like coffees and all my own.
I love it.
People watching, go and get a little coffee, people watching.
I love
Listen
it.
to a little podcast, go and sit and have a little bit of lunch by myself. Best thing ever.
Have you ever...
I hate when people like stop me when I'm, have a feeling someone comes over and say, oh, hey, how are you?
Oh, I know.
I just wasn't prepared for this.
No, I know. Have you ever gone to the cinema by yourself?
Oh, it actually happened. Just because there's never anything on.
So, no, that's very true. There's rarely a good movie.
Yeah.
I love going to cinema by myself. Now, since I've gotten into a relationship, I don't do it as much, but Nikita, oh my god, going like getting your little popcorn. There's nothing better than like sitting there. I always go to a movie that's been out weeks, so it's like empty.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't be going to like I wouldn't be going to like Barbie in the first week, you know, like but have you ever travelled solo?
Yeah.
Isn't it the best
thing?
Oh
my god, it is so amazing. And you know what? When you travel with kids and you travel solo, you appreciate it so much more. And you know what I love doing? I love being like having myself ready to be some airport crush. I'm like, I'm gonna walk. I was like my best self on the arm here. I'm travelling alone and stunning, and my little book under my arm, my little coffee. I'm not an airport drink, so it's not into it. I just love going, getting a little coffee, going on your own, stunning. It's the best.
It's the best feeling ever. I would love to know, I want every person, not just women, to have that experience of just that freedom, like that you feel. And if you can get on a plane, travel to a different country you've never been before, and just be there for like a couple of days, even a day or two, like what can't you do?
That's right.
It's just so freeing. I always like London's my favourite my favourite place in the whole world. And I've gone there a couple of times by myself, and I've just never felt more alive than like just being there by myself and knowing like you're in this massive city and you're like there's all these people going around you, and you're just I don't know, you just kind of when I travel solo, I always just kind of realise how massive the world is, and that you're just one person. Sometimes I'd be like scared to go somewhere, and then I'm like, I probably don't fucking go home.
And I think like once you do it once, you don't even think about it. Like, and now I go out marrying on my own, like, and people to be like, you're mad, like I'd be so nervous. And I was just like Carrie said before, do you not think of like the dangers of like when you get out of the airport, it's like, what if you got into the wrong taxi? And I'm like, no, because if I thought about all those things, I'd stop myself from doing it. So I just don't. I'm just like, no, look at it and down and have a good time. That's all that's ever been having my go. I don't stress about all the little things and like, oh my god, what's you gonna be like in the airport and all that. I don't worry about any of it. I'm just like, no, we're gonna go, it's gonna be a good time. That's literally all that just go through my head, and it's great. And it's like so much less stressful than traveling with other people because you're not really special. You're not having to do what they want to do, and like we could just go off and do our own thing. It's great.
You just can't think like that, and I think that's something we were chatting about a little bit before. Was just like that, and I carry it in every aspect of my life. It's just that delusional self-belief that it's all just gonna go right.
No, I swear. I think it's probably our best trait.
It's oh my god,
best that I was.
Yeah,
but like I like well, I'm gonna do this, and that's just what it is. I don't care. It's getting done.
Yeah,
like it's
even
great
like I thought I was like when starting the podcast, I was like, I'm confident and I've a good iPhone. Yeah. What more do I need? Yeah. Do you know, like nothing else was like needed. And I feel like with stuff like this, people think like you need, you know, like thousands. You need the best equipment, and just do, just do. What do you have, and what can you do with that? And go and do that.
Start small, like go from there.
Absolutely.
I was the same in dance classes. Like I actually remember when I started them, I had a couple of things sent to me of people saying like posting. If I post dance class, somebody else will post my story. Like, can you do things like that with a qualification and stuff like that? And you can't, like, you actually you don't need to qualify to teach your dance class. So they'll just put that in there.
Well, you are.
Yeah, like I'm qualified to be like a group instructor, and I'm qualified like to do. It's called like dance to music. Basically, it's a fitness part of their qualification, qualifying all that. But like, you don't have to be. Like, there's actually not really a qualification in Ireland to be like a dance teacher. There is for like ballet and grade and competitive styles.
Yeah.
But in terms of just wanting to go and put a dance class on, I get messages about this all the time, so it's actually good to add this in. That people be like, how do you start? Just do it. Just believe in yourself, go and do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would I just go.
Just go.
Do it. I'd say like the best I actually had enrolled to go to dance college in September, and I was going to do a 2 weeks course, and I got accepted, auditioned, everything was happy out. But then the course is heavily focused, and all of them in Ireland are on ballet.
Okay.
So that's not the route I want to go down.
Yeah.
I would have wasted 2 years just to get a piece of paper to say I'm a qualified dance teacher, but only in like ballet and that's like that's all. It would have been wasted 2 years of life. So when I looked down, the best route for me to go was to just go and attend the classes and get trained from my teachers, and then that just bring that forward to me on.
Yeah.
We do not need a qualification. So like when I started, I remember seeing loads of that, like, oh, can she even do that? And she's just going down and starting teaching dance classes. And like you can just go, just all you need is self-belief, and if I could bottle it up and sell it, I'd be in it. Like
the world would be such a better place.
If you worry about all the little things that could go wrong, or like what people are going to say about you, or like anyone else's opinion by your own, you'll stop yourself from stepping aside your door tomorrow. But
literally,
it's so important just to believe in yourself and your purpose. I think like your why you're doing it, like your own why it's important to you and why you feel that you can, and just go with that. And it's the most important thing that you can do for yourself. Believe in your own your own juice.
Absolutely. And that is one thing I wanted to say as well, because I know I haven't seen any of the hate you've gotten from starting the dance classes, but I know you have because you've talked about it. And Nikita is more than qualified to be teaching these classes.
Like, I actually am qualified in so much. Like, no, everything.
So much that you probably don't even use.
That I'm like, because I'm so much older. Like, I was 16 when I finished school, and that was me doing me leaving stage and everything.
Wow.
I just, my birthday is the 28th of August. Sorry, I'm already starting to have the same issue, so I'm making it do next year. Preschool. I started school on my 4th birthday. So by the time I got through school, skipped 4, didn't want to do what my friends were doing. I finished at 16. I was gone on my results now at the age of 16. Like, graduated at 16. So I had no clue what I wanted to do. Like, so I just went through every single course. Like, I'm qualified in facials. I'm qualified in like microdermabrasions, like all of that. I'm qualified in lashes.
I was going to say lashes.
I'm qualified in like hair crowns. I'm qualified in obviously fitness, personal training, nutrition. I'm a qualified SMA childcare worker. Like, I've done it all. I was a manager in my mom for years. Like, I think I've just like done a bit of everything, and I feel like that's something that I've heard a lot. It's like, oh, she was posed from one thing to the next. I feel like my purpose is always health and fitness, and your purpose can change. So like, it was always like gym, health and fitness, get everyone to reach their goals. And now, since being a mother, Marley's changed my whole outlook and everything. Marley's made me accept me for who I am, and like just need to love myself and grow with that. I don't need to be a certain size. I don't need to be tracking all the time. So my purpose has now just changed into just getting girls to learn to love themselves, and that's what I think has happened with me transitioning to dancing. It's just a safe space for girls to fully appreciate who they are. They don't need to be a certain size or anything, and it's just coming together and making this supportive community for girls to come and feel safe in. And that purpose can change. It can be like little branches can come out of it and go different routes, but your purpose is always going to be what feels good for you, and that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
So qualified nursing. You don't spend so much money on those courses. But I did, but at the time I didn't know if it was going to be for me or not. So you don't know until you try. You just have to try and error these things.
But you get better as a person with everything that you do, every course that you do. You know?
Yeah, like you're unreal at lashes, and I'm sure when you started out you were like, oh my god.
The worst. Like the worst for like a year. Like useless. Do you know what I mean? But you just have to, and as well, like they're like, people do lashes and then they realise it's not for them.
That was me. Like, I done the whole, it's like beauty course. I was like,
no. But no one died. No. So it's okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If anything, I think you take little things from it, like, I learned how to like properly clean my lashes and little things like that. Exactly. And like, how to like focus a lot longer, and like learn that you're not going to be great. I think lashes taught me that you're not going to be great at the start, and you really have to put your 1,000 hours in. Even though I don't use it, you take your lessons from like every single thing that is done.
Is there a piece of advice that you've ever been given that you look back now and you're like, that was a load of crap?
Do you know, I can't pinpoint an actual piece of advice, but I think for mothers, like, as soon as someone finds that you're pregnant, I got this a lot. I know a lot of people do. There's a few girls I follow that just had babies on Instagram, and I see that they post it as well. Unsolicited advice from other people.
Yeah.
Like, or the negativity about being a parent. It's like, oh, your whole life's gonna change. Like, why 10 nights out? Like, why this, blah, blah, blah. It's not advice, but it's like, it's what's said to you when you're gonna be a mom.
Yeah.
And it's that, it's put such a negative spin on it, but it's not like at all. So for me, I'm really headstrong, so I generally don't take anyone's advice, even if it's good.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I could even talk to the girls about something,
and
then they give me advice and I do the polar opposite to it. Like, so I don't think I've ever taken on anyone's bad advice. Thank God. I probably should have sometimes, but no.
I'm like that as well. I mean, I rarely ask anyone for advice because, number one, I want to learn myself. And do you ever be like people like asking for like when if I ever I'm like, oh, what do you think of that? Straight away I'm like, why did I ask them that? I actually
don't care. They give you the advice and they're like, that's the most silliest thing I've ever done. Like, you know? And I love when I voice message one of my sisters or something about their advice and they send me back and within the first few seconds I'm like, God, that advice doesn't suit me anymore. I can say I generally don't really. I like to vent and I like to be like, this is what's happening and blah blah blah. But then I don't really take that on board. I just go with my own thing.
What's the best piece of advice?
I'd say the best thing that's ever been said to me is your kids are only young for 4 years, so enjoy them while they can.
Yeah.
And that's like so true. Like, I know everyone says it flies by and everything, but the first 4 years after that, like they don't depend on you for a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I think that piece of advice when someone said it to me, I was quite young and like, wake up at night and you're tired and all that and you're like, dear lads. And now I'm like, she's 5 and I look back over it and I'm like, that time went like that. And I feel like I did appreciate every year where that piece of advice stuck in my head. I was like, she's 3, I've got a year left. And I was so conscious of it. And I was like, and she's like 5 now. And I'm like, this last year, I had just seen her grow into a little girl. And it's so scary. But we really only do get 4 years of them as kids.
I feel like you utilise your time with Marley so much. So I mean, you really are together all the time. But not because... And it's so clear that it's not just because you're like, right, I'm her mom, like, let's do something today. You really, like, want to be, like, together. Like, you want to spend that time together.
Like a little phase now. She went this weekend, but she usually goes with her dad, like, every second weekend. And, like, for the last while, she just didn't want to leave in the evening. And it's shit, because I'm like, your dad's going to miss you. Like, you need to go. I always listen to and respect her wishes, like, so she's like, I don't want to go, I just want to be with you. And I'm like, there's going to be a time in my life when she doesn't want to be with me. And she wants to go for that to get away from me. So I always respect her wishes. So she's with me so much. And she comes everywhere with me. Like, I don't not bring her anywhere. Like, even sometimes, like, the weeks where I have her and she's not in her dad's house, I teach dance class on a Friday, she'll go to my mum's, but if she doesn't want to go to my mum's, she wants to come and take her with me. Like, and like, I used to be like that with the gym. I used to go to a gym where I'd know them and I'd be like, come here, can I take Mary with me while I train? Like, and they'd be like, I just see like, I don't see her ever haven't been a nuisance in my life. I love having her around and bringing her everywhere with me, like. And I think we have like the best bond. It's mad.
And so clear these two. Literally.
And I think I'm like, I hope when she's older, she's like, thinks I'm that girl still. Because now she thinks I'm the best thing ever. It's so cute. She was before the nursery and she's like, I love you so much. And she'll just say it out of nowhere. And she'll just be like, Mom, I love you so much. And I'm like, I know, I love you too. But it's so nice to have her. Like, she really.
But it's mad even like you saying about, getting that unsolicited advice of like, oh, your whole life's going to change, say goodbye to your nights out. But the amount of like, you can see it like in you that like your life is so much better because you had her. I just see parents having kids living their best lives out left, right and centre. Like.
And like, it's nice to have that balance. Like, obviously you don't have to fully lose yourself and make friends and still can go out and everything. But for me, personally, since having Marley, I feel like she has like changed every single thing about me, and like she's changed like the goals I would have wanted. Like I would have probably wanted to travel more, and like I would have wanted to I feel like I always wanted to be this big thing. Don't really know what the big thing is, but I always wanted to do more and just like be this big thing and to go somewhere and be recognised for this thing that I'm gonna be. And now I feel like since having more that I'm just happy in peace and like in what we do now. And it's great to walk and it's great to have a goal and all that, but I feel like I'm just at ease with just being who I am and appreciating every step of the way that I'm going to go, and I don't have to always be like, yeah, this is great, but I want to get up there and like aim for this big thing all the time. I feel like she's made me more like grateful and just happy for what I have. If that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Total sense. Do you have a message that, not like if someone asked you like, oh, what advice would you, if you had one piece of advice to give me, or do you have something that you live by or something that you teach to Marley, like what would that message be?
Probably just like just do you, like literally just do you. Don't worry about what anybody else is going to say about you or anyone's opinions, or if anyone has anything negative to say about you, they're generally not doing better. So whatever you want to do, just do you, and don't worry about the football, don't worry about what can go wrong, just do you for whatever you want to be.
I think, just to add to that, like one thing I've realised is especially when you're younger and you hear someone older state something, you take it as gospel, and normally they're not qualified in what they're talking about. It's an opinion. And what is an opinion? It's not the law.
No.
It's not something they got from a qualification. It's an opinion. It's a thought they had in more times than not, their underqualified mind. So why do we take opinions so to heart?
And I think like just since starting with dance classes and hearing these opinions about myself, it's made me be like, why do we pass so many opinions about people? And I always, if I'm like, if somebody says like, oh, it's just these such and such, I always stop myself, I always do it and think like, by me giving off my opinion on this, how is it going to benefit my day? Or me saying, oh yeah, I've seen that she's mad or something, like, how is that going to benefit my day? And I just stopped doing all that. And that's it. Like, I just can't deal like with negative opinions. People have them all the time, and like anyone that has like anything bad to say about you, they're never doing better. You will never ever get somebody that's doing amazing passing bad judgment on somebody that's trying to get up to their level. Like, never.
Absolutely. And it's always like, if you see someone having a bitch about someone because they've achieved something, I guarantee it, it's that thing that they have is what on their goal list. It's always the way. Like,
generally somebody that's not wanting to be anything. Like, they're happy to just exist every weekend. Not actually have an end goal or anything. So it's never ever. I've never got a bad opinion or had a rumour or anything started about me by somebody that's doing well. Like,
absolutely. Nikita, I think you're amazing. I know you're an amazing mother. I love following you on Marley's journey on your socials. If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you? And for anyone who wants to do your classes, your dance classes, how can we go about it?
We're on Instagram. It's called Slay Heal, so it's SLAY. So it's called try class every Friday, 6 p.m. for beginners and 7 p.m. is just a mixed level. It's open to beginners as well, but if the girls that are in that class have been dancing with us since the start, so I recommend everyone start at 6 p.m. Please come and dance with us. And then my own social media is just Coach by Nikita.
Amazing. Thank you so much, girl.
Thanks so much for having me.
No problem.